I spent 100 days building the ultimate Halloween island, complete with a giant pumpkin, spooky graveyard, and way too many lanterns. This is my first ever 100 days challenge in Minecraft, and I am so excited, so let's get into it. The 100 days begins with the usual setup. We punched a tree to get some oak logs and built our first crafting table and our first wooden pickaxe. I'm going to grab the sugarcane as we need to make sure we're taking anything useful along the way to finding the perfect island for our pumpkin themed base. It's time to get some upgrades next, so let's grab this cobblestone here. I think we're going to do a stone pickaxe, an axe, and a sword to begin with. I came across this mine area here that has a mine shaft on the surface which you don't see much of outside of the desert, but we're going to carefully make our way down as I can see all kinds of ores for the taking. We're going to grab this iron here. Ooh, decent vein of iron straight off the rip, which is perfect. So that's 9 iron in total, and there's even more here. What does that take us to? 13 bits in total, very nice. We're going to grab this coal too, might as well whilst it's free for the taking. We're also going to grab this copper as there's so many more uses for it now. I do also want to incorporate some of it into our base build, so we're just going to take 1 stack of the copper. This mine is very cool, it's huge back here, but I don't think we're quite ready to be heading down there though, so I'm just going to build up here and grab these last few bits of iron. Okay, so we're back on the surface now and it's already getting dark, and I just forget how quickly the days go in Minecraft. I'm going to have to get a move on. Sadly, there is a herd of cows here and I need to start collecting food and leather as early as possible in this 100 days, so I'm very sorry to murder your entire family there. Let's get a furnace built and we're going to start smelting some of these ores and cooking ourselves some beef. I am on Java and I don't usually play it because Joe can't, so I usually play Bedrock, but I've got shaders installed and so I'm really excited to play and get used to Java. With the iron we've smelted, we managed to get a chestplate, a helmet, and also an iron sword and pickaxe, and we're going to use some of that copper to make some leggings, so not too bad for the end of day 0. Straight into day 1 and we found a plains biome, and these shaders are really making the world look stunning. But we do need to destroy some more of the local wildlife. It's so weird how the cows like try and run away from you. It just feels really cruel to take it down. But we do need the leather, so it's got to be done. Oh, we got some sheep as well, that's huge. We do need your wool to make a bed, and unfortunately for you, I don't have the iron to waste on shears at this point in time. Let's make our very first bed. Look at me, I know the recipe. I know what I'm doing. Oh, a pink sheep. Aren't they quite rare for them to like spawn naturally? Oh, it's so cute. Don't worry, I shall spare your life today. I am going to make a shield though because I realised I forgot to make one earlier, and I don't know how difficult it's going to be to survive against like skeletons and stuff in Java, so that is a must. We're on the lookout for the perfect island. I want to make sure that it is a decent size so we've got plenty of space for builds. Ooh, a black sheep. I'm going to take your wool, thank you kindly sir. As this is like a Halloween autumn pumpkin themed, there is going to be quite a lot of like black and orange. I really want it to be quite spooky. Okay, let's go up this way. If we go nice and high, we might be able to see some decent like biomes. We might be able to see an island. I also want to make sure that I'm grabbing the black dye, or at least the ink sacs from these squids, so that we can make black dye when we're ready for it. God, they take a lot of smacking with the sword. There we go, let's grab the ink sac for the dye. And then it is getting quite dark, so we're going to have our first night's sleep, which is very exciting. So it's day 2, we are just having a little bit of a boat around, seeing if we can find a decent island. Still very impressed with these shaders, the game looks stunning. Okay, so we've come across a desert village. I'm just going to steal some of their wheat. I'm also hoping to find potatoes and carrots if possible. Ooh, grab some emeralds, some more wheat and some bread, which is very nice. I am going to steal this bed. I'm going to swap it out for my white one. I just love the colour of that green. We're also going to grab some of this wheat because you can't say no to free hay. Just going to fully raid them. I'm going to take their smoker too. Oh, you can stay in there. We don't need to take you. Oh my god, why is there like 1,000 villagers? I'm going to take this bundle as well. It's extremely useful, bearing in mind we've got a way to travel and we've already got a full inventory. Heading towards a jungle biome here, and it is already starting to get dark. So we moved on to day 3. I managed to find some melons, which is really exciting. That's another crop for us, although I don't know if it really fits with the pumpkin theme, but we'll take them for now. Now this is something that definitely does fit with the theme. Sorry, there's a dog staring at me. We're going to grab all of these pumpkins. That is a really useful thing to grab. Obviously we can plant them and we can also use them for decorating. So pumpkins are a huge part of this build. We've managed to come into a spruce biome as well. So I'm going to chop down and I'm going to gather as much wood as I can, but I'm also going to make sure that we've got a good few saplings because we're going to need a lot of spruce for this build. So we've got 3 saplings for now, that should work. End of day 3, we're just going to have a little pit stop to smelt some of the items that we've got. Okay, so we've moved on to day 4 and I've come across this tiger village. Oh, they've got potatoes. Huge. That's one of the things we wanted. Another bundle, again, also very useful. Lots of pumpkin seeds, which is great. Ooh, pumpkin pie. Okay, a bit more bread. Some more saplings as well, which is good. Basically take everything that they have. Ooh, oh my god, 3 obsidian, some leggings, not leggings, sorry, some boots and some iron. Okay, well we'll take off the copper and we'll put the iron boots on. I'm just setting up a little base camp here because we have found our island. Let me just show you what it looks like. We've got a lava pit, we've got a decent amount of space. I am very excited to get started with this build. So we're just going to, like I say, put some stuff down, get ourselves organised a little bit and go and deal with the fact that our forest is on fire. Good start. I assume because obviously the lava is just spreading a little bit. So if we clear down some of the trees that are nearby, we should stop the spread. That's perfect. Day 5, we need to get started with some crops because we are going to starve to death if we don't put down some crops soon. So we're going to plant up our potatoes and we're also going to put down some wheat as well. I'm also going to make myself another iron axe because we are going to be doing a lot of tree chopping. I'm also going to use shears here just to grab some of the oak leaves before we get started on some serious island deforestation. Oh, we have a bee. Oh, that's huge. That means we can get wax for the copper. Whereabouts is the nest? Oh, okay. So we're going to make sure that we chop down the tree nearby so I don't accidentally... I need visibility so I don't accidentally chop down the bee's nest. Okay, so we've cleared a good area near this lava pool, which I think would be very cool to have near the main base build. So we're just making sure the area is fully clear. There's going to be so many saplings. I think we're going to have more saplings than we know what to do with. But yeah, this is where we are going to build the main part of the base, right next to this lovely lava pool. I'm going to pop down the sugarcane as well to make sure that we can get that starting to grow because we want to do enchanting as soon as possible in this playthrough. I'm going to pop down some fences here and make a first little pen because if we find some cows, we're going to want to make sure that we secure them like immediately. So I just want to have this ready to go. Yeah, see, there is loads of cows on this island. Oh my god. Okay, well, if you would like to follow me, I have a beautiful pen just for you. Man, we managed to get 4 straight away, which is very exciting. That'll make enchanting, again, a little bit easier. We'll get breeding straight away. Could make little baby cows, that would be perfect. I'm going to smelt some clay here because I think we're going to want quite a lot of brick. But yeah, we are starting to get a little bit of organisation going on now. Something we do need, however, is a mine entrance because we're going to need to be able to mine sooner rather than later. And I would like one on the island so that I don't have to travel to go like down into caves. We need more iron and I would like to get diamonds again sooner rather than later. Okay, so this is our first like skeleton, I believe. Yep, using our shield to its full advantage. Okay, so we're going to grab granite. That's actually really hard to say, but we're going to grab it because, again, that's something that's going to be quite integral to a lot of the builds. I want a lot of the roofs to be made out of granite. Luckily, there is a huge amount of it down in this cave, so we're going to make sure to grab some while we are here. Ooh, we've got some lapis. Definitely take that. Okay, so day 7 to 10, we got started on the base build for like the main part of the house. We're just using oak, and I'm going to do my best to kind of frame this out to begin with. I want to have 2 floors, so I'm going to build a staircase on this right-hand side. And then we're going to use spruce to fill in all of the walls. We do need a doorway, that's always useful. I think we had to make it 1 taller because we couldn't fit the windows in the way that I wanted. All of our sugarcane is already ready for its first harvest, so I'm just going to chop that all down. Going back to the build, again, we're putting in this little like porch veranda area, and we've moved our bed in. I know we don't have any walls just yet, but I wanted to put the bed in our new house. Okay, so we are building up, and we now have some form of a roof over our head. Not much. I'm just going to use some spruce to block these stairs in so that we've got a nice little bed area under the stairs. Heading back down into the cave as well, I found deep slate, so we're going to see if we can find some diamonds. There's a lot of spiders here. I think there might be a spawn. Yeah, I knew it. I knew there was a spawner here. If you are scared of spiders, like this cave area, I mean, I'm scared of spiders, but not Minecraft ones, but this would be like hell on earth. There was like at least 5 spiders down here, so let's just put some torches on that. Okay, a little bit of iron, we'll take it, and some bones, which again, also super useful for bone meal, and a golden apple, and some gold blocks as well. Oh, and some more leather, also very useful. I'm running out of space though. The spider's just like stuck here, so nice easy kill. Ooh, we have our first diamond. Let's just deal with the skeleton that is blocking our path. So how many's that? 1, obviously 2. There is loads of diamonds down here, which is just perfect, exactly what we want. Gonna have a little dig to make sure I haven't missed any here as well. Okay, also grab in any lapis that we see. Not only are we going to need it for enchanting, but also any ores like that, so redstone, lapis, etc. are really good for building up your XP. So I'm going to be making sure to grab those to boost our levels up to 30 as quickly as possible. There's more diamonds here. Man, this was a really... Look at them all, there's so many. This was a really good explore down into the caves. Okay, any more here? I think it's just that one. Ooh. Oh my god. Nice big vein of diamonds. Yes, please. Okay, so we're going to head back up to the surface. That was a really, really good session of mining. We managed to get 15 diamonds, which is very exciting. Obviously, we also now have the deep slate that I wanted to start getting work on the roof done. It's going to be interesting, I think, so bear with me. I will do a little jump cut until I've finished building the roof, because it is such a pain in the ass getting up there. Also going to build our first diamond tools, so we're going to do a diamond pickaxe, a diamond sword, and our first piece of diamond armor, which is very exciting. As I mentioned, we're also going to be using a lot of granite for the roof, so we can pop that all in, and we've kind of got our first draft of the house, I suppose. We have walls, we have like a place to call our own. Also, it gives me the opportunity to clear out my inventory a little bit. However, we do need to go out and gather some more materials, so we want sand to make glass, and I'm also going to try and gather as much clay as I possibly can when I see it, so that we can make brick. We're getting a nice collection of cows going on now, which is excellent. Okay, so we have a floor in our base, which is very exciting, and we've also got some glass cooked up so that we can put our windows in. Yeah, let's do those, and then I'm going to make the panes black, because I think that would look really cool. Okay, yeah, let's do that, and then we can fill these in like that. Yeah, that is exactly the vibe we're going for. There's a spider on our second floor. But we're on day 14 now, so we are really getting through these days, but we're just going to pop down a little bit more of the glass upstairs, and then I'm going to use oak leaves to kind of decorate the build a little bit. I did build a chimney on the side, so I'm going to put some campfires and just kind of like build a little hearth around it. I think that will kind of do for now. Just pop the other campfires in the bottom there. On to day 15, and we are going to go and chop down a load of trees because A, we need the space, and B, we need the resources. So we're just going to go through and chop down as many of the trees as possible. I also want to make sure that we're planting lots of wheat because I think it will really make a massive difference when it comes to the overall vibe of the island being quite autumnal. And of course we want to make sure that we're getting some pumpkins planted as well. Whilst I love the look of the leaf litter, oh my god, is it so annoying for building, by the way. Like anything where you want to like use the ground, whether that's making pathways or putting in crops, it is so annoying. So we've got our first jack-o'-lanterns here, which is very exciting. I really wanted to make sure that we got some of those in as soon as possible. The cows are doing my head in, being so noisy right next to where the base is, so we are moving them into a much bigger pen. If I know how to build a pen, that is. We're just going to release them all and hope that they all follow my wheat. I can go and loop back around and grab up the stragglers if I need to. Yeah, come on, everyone. Oh, look at the baby leading the way. Come on, everyone in. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a roundup situation. Man, we had a lot of cows. Come on. Everyone this way. Okay, so that is the majority of them. There's just a few odd stragglers over by the base. So we'll make sure that we get these all in. Oh my god. Okay, so there's still quite a few stragglers, but that's absolutely fine. Everybody in. Oh my god, like a cow tsunami. Okay, perfect. That is everybody in. And then we're going to make sure that we are continuing to breed them because we need as many cows as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to put a lot of wheat fields in. So I'm just going through and making a much bigger wheat area between us and the mine entrance. Got some potatoes still as well, and our sugarcane farm is coming along really nicely, so we're making good progress now. We're almost at day 20 already, which is crazy. It's a very rainy day today, but we're going to continue getting our mine entrance built out. I've obviously got a lot of the deep slate, which I think looks really nice with the spruce. We're just building like a very small hut area, I suppose, for the entrance to the mine. Just putting some stairs in so that we can get in and out easily, and I have carved out a little bit of an area just inside the hut, but that is what we've got for now. It does need some decorating, which we will come to. It is still raining on this lovely day, but we do need to go and chop down some more trees. It is the thing with a day 100, I think, like you just need a lot of resources, so there's a lot of tree chopping. Continuing to get in as much of this wheat as possible as well. I'm having to kind of chop down some of the fully grown stuff so that we can get the seeds, because we've got quite a large area of wheat growing now. Okay, that's all the seeds that we've got for now, which is fine. Hello, little bee. Don't come in the house, you'll get stuck. I'm going to mix in some pumpkins as well within the wheat so that it is kind of that like really natural looking mismatched kind of field. Next, I really want to get a pen for some sheep. I have seen some around the island, so I want to make sure that we are getting a pen ready for them. Although I can't find them now, which is annoying. There's a lot of pigs, but I can't find any sheep. We'll have to find some sheep later, but if you know, you know, we are going to make sure we cook up some tactical jacket potatoes, and we are getting really organised within the base now. The chests are very neat and organised, which I really love. We've got so much leaf litter, it is unbelievable. But yeah, nice amount of organisation going on. It's day 21 and it's time to head back down into the mines. I really want to go and see whether I can get some more granite, and I also need to see if I can get some more iron, diamonds, anything like that. Finding some decent iron veins, which is really helpful. Just take all of this. Did manage to find a huge amount of diamonds, which is very much appreciated. continuing to boost our XP as well. We're now at level 25, which we're getting really close to being able to enchant now. Found a really good chunk of diamonds here. Ooh, there's even ones hidden behind as well. There is loads of diamonds down there. I think we can use this water to get down. There's some mobs down here though. God, there's a lot of mobs down here. Look at all those diamonds though. Oh my god, baby zombie. Everyone needs to back up. God, please die. You can hear them behind me as well. Okay, quick tactical jacket potato. Okay, finally baby zombie is down. Please die. I want to go get my diamonds. Jesus. I broke my sword, but that's fine because we brought our diamond one with us. Okay, so we can finally go across and mine these diamonds. Oh my god, there's so many here. Okay, that's 18, 19. Okay, I'm going to make myself a diamond helmet because we need to start building up our level of protection. This is very cool. I have never seen emerald ore down in a mine. There's loads of it. There's more diamonds, there's more iron, there's so much ore down here. But yeah, the emerald ore within the cave, I've never seen that before. Very dark here, I do apologise. So that's 3 emeralds. There's even more of it. So weird. We will take it. What's that? 5? 6 altogether. Back at base, we completed our final pieces of diamond armor and we also built a diamond axe. So we now have full diamond armor and most of the tools diamond that we need. So we're making really good progress. I am very excited to get enchanting soon. So we need to make sure that we start working on this enchanting table. We need one more bit of obsidian. We do have the diamonds and we do have the ability to make a book, which is excellent. Grab our book. And then, yeah, I'm going to need to figure out getting this other piece of obsidian. You know what that means? It's time to go off on a little adventure. While out travelling, I did finally manage to find some sheep, and they're quite close to the base. There's actually 3, 2 white and 1 black ones. So we're going to use the wheat here, and we're going to entice them back to their new pen. Oh my god, we found another white one, but yeah, just look at them bobbing across the water. Okay, if you could just come this way, please. Look, I've got a lovely big pen for you just here. Really? I made 2 gates and you still can't fit. Perfect. And let's light this up a little bit to make sure that we don't have any mobs kind of coming anywhere near our lovely sheep pen. Can start breeding them as well. We're going to need lots of wool, I think, for some of the builds in future, so I'd like to get sheep going as soon as possible. Oh, wait, it was a grey sheep. That's so cute. Now that we've got the sheep and the cows, which are very noisy, I do apologise, but we do need to get started on a little barn for them. So that is the next build that we're going to add to our pumpkin island. Just building the frames again, and then we're going to use cobbled deep slate for the roof. I really want to make sure that we are doing as much of that kind of like darker materials as possible to make this island as kind of, I don't want it to be like a horror theme. It's more like a autumnal, pumpkin-y, you know, darker vibe. We're also going to use some granite to make sure that we are filling in the roof. I really like to kind of mix in some polished granite and some normal granite and maybe some brick. Once I've got some more processed, we can swap some out. We're using spruce fences to make the windows because when it's a barn, I like it to be more of an open effect. And we're also going to put a kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, a covered area on the side that's under this fenced area because I also want to use this area for chickens. So we're going to kind of build a little pen area for the chickens as well. We're adding some lanterns, we're going to add a composter and some storage. We're going to use some like little bits to decorate the front using oak trapdoors. We're going to put some plants in just to make it a little bit more kind of molded into the environment. I'm going to use spruce fences to add a little bit of an entranceway as well. Back down in the caves, I found that I'd walked past somehow one of the amethyst geodes. So we've gone and gathered a load of that because I know very soon we're going to be wanting to do our enchanting area, and I think having some amethyst to add into the build would be really nice. I found some lava here, so I'm like desperately trying to get this enchantment set like area ready to go. So we're going to get some water and we're going to pour it on here. We only need one bit and there was only one source block, so we will take this little piece of obsidian. And I can find it. So we now have everything we need to make our enchantment table. Hello little bee, very cute. So this area right here is where we're going to build our enchant area. So we just need to spend a bit of time getting the final resources that we need. So that means culling some of our cows, sadly. Plenty of sugarcane here to make paper and plenty of leather, so we can now start working on building all of our bookshelves. So we managed to do 3. I think we just need to get some more sugarcane. Okay, so we've got 6 so far, but I think we do need to go, unfortunately, and get some more leather. It does feel like, you know, fish in a barrel type situation. Seeing as we've murdered half of them, I will go through and just breed them up a little bit. We also need to get some food going because I do not want to starve. We do need to get some more paper, so luckily we have a huge amount of the sugarcane growing, so we now have our 13 bookshelves. We need to make sure that we're keeping on top of all of the necessary things that need doing around the farm though, so we are culling all of our wheat and all of our potatoes, making sure that we are replanting the crops as much as possible. That was a huge amount of seeds we were able to get from that. I'm also gonna like block in the lava for now. I'm just a little bit concerned that I might end up accidentally falling in. We do have multiple creepers hanging out there though. It is obviously a thunderstorm, so we're going to go to bed and avoid dying from that. Or at least not even dying, just destroying some of our beautiful base. The next morning the thunderstorm has finished and there is a beautiful rainbow. We just need to deal with the remaining creeper. But yeah, doesn't it look so pretty with the rainbow? I think obviously that's from the shaders. Next, we're going to start working on building out our enchanting area. So we just need to map out where it is going to go, and then we're going to use oak to kind of put the frame in. I'm going to make it a kind of L shape so that the bookshelves sit into the corner, if that makes sense. Using dark cobble on the floor, and I will add some further details in for the floor later. Going to add the bookshelves in like this. We just need to stack them so that they kind of go equal on each side. Just needs 2 more here and here. And now pop our enchantment table in. We're just going to do a little bit of decorating. We're going to use some lanterns. We're going to use some fences, and we're also going to get some leaves and do a little bit of decorating with those as well. I'm going to pop some of the lapis in the storage crate here, and like I mentioned, we're going to use some amethyst for the floor. So we're going to pop in, we can do our first enchantment, which is very exciting. So we've got Fortune 2, Efficiency 3 and Unbreaking 3. Not terrible. What can we get for the axe? Efficiency 3? I think we'll take that. And then on the chest plate, we're going to get Protection 3. The boots, we could get Feather Falling 4, so I do need to get my levels up a little bit to get that. Sorry, am I in your way, Mr. B? I really like this kind of like lamppost design, so I will be popping a few of those around the base as well. But yeah, there we go. We have a complete enchantment area and we've started to get our enchantments. Next, I'm going to make a little pond in the middle here. I was having a bit of trouble trying to get the middle bit of the water to fill in. And then I thought, hang on a minute, let's do a nice little lantern in the middle as well. Looks very cute. I will add some fish into this at some point as well. And then we're going to put a little bit more of the amethyst into the like floor of the pond here, just for a little bit of added interest. The next building I want to work on is a forge. I want somewhere where we can put blast furnaces and normal furnaces and just kind of have this really cool area for when we are making things. So I'm going to start, as I always do, with some oak logs and we're going to build out the frame. I want this to be more of like an L-shaped building, so we're going to need to make sure that we think about that as we're building. Can never have enough wood, we're having to chop down trees in between. So we have the main framework done here, I think, now. However, we do need some more spruce, so I'm going to use 4 saplings and make some of the very large spruce. I'm going to do that again. And it's such an easy and effective way of getting multiple stacks of the spruce logs. Going back to our forge, we can now start filling in the walls for the build. And again, we are going to use the cobbled deep slate for the roof to add that kind of more dark and ominous feel. We have now run out of the cobbled deep slate though, so we are going to have to head back to the mine. Just deal with the multiple mobs that are stopping us from being able to crack on with that. Another build that I would like to do is also a nether portal, although I don't think we'll be necessarily going in the nether. This does mean though that we will need to get some more obsidian, so I'm going to use the water bucket here and gather as much obsidian as I possibly can. Also, we now have fortune on our pickaxe, so getting diamonds should be pretty cool. We should be able to get a lot more diamonds than we normally would do. We started with 17 and then we ended up with 22 from that. Okay, I've just found the coolest cave. Look at the absolute size of it, and there's a lush cave over there. There's a huge amount of diamonds all around this area, so we're going to go on a bit of a spree, guys. I'm having to like really carefully work my way around there though. It's such an awkward place for the lush cave, like to get there. I think we're almost there. I can see diamonds literally everywhere. Okay. Oh my god, there's so many diamonds. We're already at 37 from this one trip. Okay, so we've got a stack of 50 now and there is still more, but there are creepers bloody everywhere. Almost as many creepers as there are diamonds. Very nervous about backing up too much because there is lava directly behind us. Okay, let's get some light on the situation and let's grab these diamonds. Oh my god, there's so many. I got back to level 30 and we now have 62 diamonds. Oh my god. Not ideal timing. That is our first full stack of diamonds. Made it to the lush cave. I'm going to try and grab as many of the like decor bits. So I want lots of moss. I want to not get exploded by a creeper ideally. And then I also want to make sure we get a lot of glowberries as well. If you could just deal with each other, I'd really like to just crack on with getting these diamonds actually. Trying to find an axolotl, but there is not a single one in any of the water around here, which is really upsetting. I would love to have had an axolotl for the pond. There's tropical fish, but I can't see a single axolotl anywhere. Oh no, get in the water. Well, we now have 85 diamonds altogether and some more. My god, that's crazy. They're just literally everywhere, and with fortune we have got so many. Well, safe to say I don't think we're going to run out of diamonds anytime soon. Day 36, back at base, we're now going to start doing a little bit of decorating. I really need to make sure that I'm making this beautiful as well as functional. We can also get our fire protection, feather falling and unbreaking on our boots as we've got our levels back up. And we're also going to get unbreaking 3 on our helmet. I'm also going to upgrade my sword, so we now have sharpness 3 on our sword. When it comes to enchantments, I'm still relatively new to it. I know what some of the good ones are, but please let me know in the comments below if like you would have taken those or whether I should have left them and waited for a different enchantment. Going back to finishing off our forge, so we've now got the dark slate that we needed to be able to do that, or the dark cobble, sorry. So we're going to go back, finish off the roof, and then again we're back to chopping down trees, guys, because we just need the resources. At least we got a load of saplings from that though. Next we're going to get working on our blast furnace, so we have to double cook the stone so that we can get smooth stone and then we can create our blast furnace. Inside of the forge we're going to use the cobbled deep slate for the floor again. And then we're going to build our little forge area. I'm also going to put a chimney on the forge because I think it makes the most sense. Like where the blast furnace is on the other side of this wall, you would expect there to be smoke and fumes and stuff, and so you'd want to have a chimney. We're also going to put 2 of the cauldrons in, one with water and one with lava, because I have that thing of like, if you're making a sword, you would obviously use the heat to make it and then you would cool it with the water. We're also going to pop some lanterns in. And there we go, guys. Here is our finished forge area. I'm super happy with it. I think it looks really cute. And again, also very functional. In between builds, I'm still making sure to plant as much wheat as I possibly can do. We've got a huge amount of areas that we want to fill with the wheat, so I'm still working on this in between everything else. I didn't actually record this bit, but I did dye some of our sheep orange as well. So we've got orange, black, white sheep now. Inside the barn area, I'm just adding a little bit of detail in because I would really like to get some chickens in there sooner rather than later. Are you trapped down there? He's like a honey roasted ham. Okay, I'll see myself out. Okay, the base is really starting to come together now. I do want to go around and bone meal the grass a little bit and just add some more kind of depth to it. I really love the look of like a really overgrown kind of area. I don't know why, it just is the way that I always like it to look. We've also done some work on the interior of the house just to make it a little bit more cozy. I'm also going to build an anvil because I want to make sure that we put that into our forge just in case we ever need it. Our pickaxe is getting quite low and we're getting so many diamonds and stuff from it. I'd like to be able to repair it if needs be. We're also back to chopping down some trees. Again, rinse and repeat. We've got so many different trees on this island though, so it's not too much of a trouble. Next build I want to work on is a little bit of a dock area and also a kind of fishing hut, I suppose. Doesn't need to be anything like massive, we just wanted to have a little area that if we wanted to do some fishing, we've got somewhere nice to come and sit. We're following the same kind of structure as before, so we're using spruce wood to make the roof and obviously cobbled deep slate again. We're going to pop a little sign saying "Gone Fishing" next to our fishing hut, and then we're just going to add a few little bits of storage and decor inside. In the house as well, I realised we have a second floor and I'm not using it at all, so I am going to build a ladder and maybe we'll put some like storage up there or something. Just finalising some of the decor for the fishing hut, just making sure we take down those torches. And there we go, guys, we can finally do a little bit of fishing. There we go, we caught our first fish. To commemorate our first catch, we're going to pop that into the like leather, what is it called? A frame. We're going to pop it into the frame on the front of the building. We're just doing a few little decorating bits. We just need to make sure that we're kind of keeping up with adding those details in everywhere and obviously putting as many pumpkins around as we can possibly manage. I did also find a couple of chickens, which is extremely exciting. So we've got some seeds and we're just lowering them back into their new home. I would also like to finally catch the fish to put in the pond, so we're just doing a little bit of swimming around and trying to catch some fish. You could get in the bucket, please. That would be great. They are quite big for this pond area, but they'll be fine. On the topic of adding more animals to the base, I also was out wandering and I had enough bones on me, and there was a pack of dogs, and I did manage to get a couple of them to be our friend, which is very exciting. This one took a little bit of convincing, but he did eventually decide he wanted to be our friend. So we now have 3 dogs and they are so cute, so I'm just going to lead them back and pop them in the base. I love that they kind of shake off when they get out of the water. We are going to make them sit in the base, just because I don't want them running off or getting injured or anything, but they can sit in front of the fire. Okay, so we've come across another bee's nest here. I really would like to start getting some beeswax. This is the first time I've ever actually done this before. It's very simple. You just pop down the campfire and use the shears, but I've never actually done it before, so that was quite cool. The bees are one of my favourite mobs. They are so cute. While out exploring, I came across the crying obsidian, which is very cool. It glows so bright with the shaders that I've got. So my thinking was, if we harvest that, we can use that as part of our portal build. I'm also going to take the magma because that does the same. It glows really nicely. Obviously it takes a little bit of time to harvest this, so I'm not going to make you watch me kind of harvest it, but we did take all of the pieces that there was at this portal. Further on our adventures, we came across a village, so we're just going to head towards that. I know I'm running about at the night, but we're fine. We're absolutely fine. I'm still trying to find carrots as well, and we have not found a single carrot, and it's nearly day 50. We did go and loot this village out a little bit, so we grabbed some of the bundles, and we also made sure to grab any emeralds, anything that we found to be useful. We did find a compass here. I'm going to take it, but I never really use them for anything. Another thing that I want to build back at the base is a bell tower, so any of the villages where we find the bells, we're going to take them. I also managed to pick up a good few brown eggs so that we can hopefully get some chicks. Oh my god, we got one! Yay, we got 2! Okay, brown chickens are my absolute favourite, so I'm very happy that we've got some for the base. So like I mentioned, we're going to build a bell tower here. Now, I started off building this in oak and I was having a great time, guys. I was having to use ladders to get all the way up there because it was very high and I may have dropped once or twice and lost a few hearts. In the end, this was an absolute nightmare. I changed it to granite and I mean, it looks okay. It's not my favourite build that I've ever done, but it's a bell tower. It does what it's supposed to do. Moving on to day 52, we began working on our nether portal. I'm so happy that we found the crying obsidian. It looks absolutely stunning. We're using cobbled deep slate around the exterior to try and build this portal out. I did end up digging down into this because it didn't quite look even, so I did end up digging out a huge area and I'm so happy with how this turned out. We swapped out some of the cobble for amethyst and yeah, we can just go ahead and light it. But yeah, I think this is one of the coolest portals that I've ever built. We're going to start breeding out our chickens as well in the hope that we get even more brown chicks, which is so cute. We managed to get 2 more. They are my absolute favourite. Another thing we need to do is also add some interest to these paths. So I'm going to go around and add some of the coarse dirt in there. And then I also remembered, I remembered that I got some of the magma blocks. So we're going to add some of these around the portal area for even more kind of interest and brightness. Of course, this is Pumpkin Island, so what is it without some glowy jack-o'-lanterns? And we're going to go and add a few of those around the base. I've got quite a lot of builds that I want to do for this 100 days, and I may have been a little bit ambitious for my first ever 100 days, but we're doing the best we can. So the next thing I want to do is build a bakery. This is going to be quite a simple build, it's nothing too crazy, so we are just building this mostly out of oak and spruce. Just getting the walls finished off, and we're just going to pop in a few details. So obviously it needs a smoker, we're going to put a cauldron in and a little bit of a countertop. Put in a few storage bits and a little bit of decor, and that's what we're running with for our little bakery. I do think it's cute and adds another little bit of detail. Our axe is getting very damaged, so we're just going to use a couple of diamonds and some levels to repair our axe, and I might also add a couple to repair our pickaxe as well, especially as it's now day 61 and we're going to be heading down into that mine to go and gather some more resources. I want to gather a lot of copper for some of the build ideas that I have, and we need to get a lot more cobbled deep slate. I found like a full ore block of the copper. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before, like naturally occurring. We managed to get a good few stacks of copper, so we can now use our forge area and get that smelting. I love the vibes and the noise of just sitting in the forge. It's one of my favourite buildings. I've got another pumpkin patch going over here near where the bee's nest is, because we're going to need to keep getting as much of the wax as possible. We now have 2 bee's nests on the island, so I'm just making sure to go and gather the beeswax as soon as it's available. Or the honeycomb, sorry. It is beeswax, isn't it? It's the same thing, or is it different? How did I not see him? Oh my god, he was standing right on our front bit. Okay, well, we'll just go and repair all of the damage that the creeper just did to the front of our building. Thank god it didn't damage anything else. I did also realise that birch leaves have a slightly less bright green look, and I think that suits the vibe that we're going for a lot more, so I did go around and replace a lot of those. Going on another adventure, we found some gold and another bell, which is unhelpful now that we've finished doing our bell tower, and another golden apple. But we did also want to grab the magma. That was another reason why I stopped at the portal. There's a white dog here and I've got 1 bone. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just go fuck myself then, shall I? Did also come across a huge amount of pumpkins out here, so I'm just going to grab all of them because you can't go wrong with free pumpkins. I'm going to grab some mushrooms as well. I'm not sure whether we can do anything with those, but I will take them with me. In the tiger biome, and I did find one of the, is it a blue chicken? A grey chicken? But he wasn't dropping any eggs for me, despite me following him around for a little while, so I decided to leave him alone. Let's say we're also going to grab as many of these mushrooms that we see as possible. I've come across like another little group of the chickens, and I did manage to find 4 eggs, so I'm hopeful. We're so far away from home it'd be a nightmare trying to bring them back. Also, just for the hell of it, I did get some honey, but it does mean that we couldn't get any of the beeswax, so we have to wait for that to respawn, I suppose. Okay, let's try these blue eggs. That's so disappointing, not a single grey blue chicken. But that's okay, my favourites are the brown ones and we've got loads of those, so I'm still very happy with this area. It's one of my favourite areas on the build. We get so many brown chicks being born. Next, I decided to build a copper golem. I just thought that the vibe was absolutely perfect, and it's the first time that I've built one for myself. He was struggling massively to figure out where things needed to go though. If there is not an exact 1 block of what you want him to organise, he will not figure out where they need to go. Another idea that I had for upstairs in our house is to do 3 armor stands with each of the types of armor. We have so many diamonds that I felt like it was okay to use them for this. Did accidentally build 2 chest plates though, which is super annoying, but it's fine, we've got a spare one if we need it. I just think that looks really cute with the new armor type, the copper armor. So yeah, I'm really happy with adding that to our upstairs part of the build. Next, I really wanted to build a kind of like creepy church with a graveyard vibe in the back corner of the island. I knew that this was going to take a lot of cobbled deep slate, and I also wanted to use some other blocks for texturing as well. Another tower build meant that this was quite difficult, so I just spent a bit of time getting all the blocks together that I needed. Again, my inventory is always so full. But yeah, we're just using the different types of darker blocks to make the textured vibe of this like church tower. I didn't want this to be as tall as the bell tower, but still quite tall. That's the kind of main structure, but bear with me, I'm going to go off and finish the rest of this tower. And this is what we're looking like with the kind of extra details and everything finished off. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks really, really cool. I did also wax the door so that it stays orange. Next, I want to go ahead and add on the side part of the church. And again, I am super happy with how this turned out. It took me so much time, which is why I did it off camera, because it was just a lot of back and forth. But I am super happy with what this looks like. We're just going to add a pathway to join the church to the rest of the build. So in this area here, I want to build a graveyard. So I'm going to kind of figure out how I can make that fit in with what we've got. I made these little like graves using blocks and the walls, put little signs on them, added some candles and some copper fences, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Next, I want to make use of this lava area, and I had an idea to build like a floating pumpkin build above the lava. I thought that the glow would look really, really cool. So I spent a bit of time to begin with just kind of digging it all out and making sure that the edge was cobbled deep slate instead of the stone. This was scary. I felt quite concerned being so close to the lava. As part of the build, we're going to need some terracotta, so you need to go and harvest a load of clay and then you can turn them into clay blocks. Luckily, you don't need to do anything with that, you can just do it in your inventory, but now we have the clay blocks, we can make terracotta from it. Heading back home, we pop the clay blocks in the furnace, and by cooking this, you end up with terracotta. This was something that I was doing for the first time. I've never made my own terracotta before, so it was really like a fun learning process for me. Also made a load of orange dye so that we could then dye the terracotta and the wool orange. Kind of need orange related things to be able to build a pumpkin. Luckily we do already have some orange sheep, and obviously I can dye some of the other wool colours as well. Oh, I'm very sorry, we've got a very pen full of naked sheep. So to build above the lava, I thought that using dirt would be a smart idea just to protect myself. And I also went and put all of my like enchanted diamond armor and tools into a chest so that if I do fall in, which is quite likely, I don't lose all of my progress. So using the terracotta, some acacia wood and the orange wool, we started to work on this build. However, I quickly realised that the dirt was not protecting the blocks above whatsoever, and I had to put out multiple fires. I had an idea that glass would stop this from happening, so I spent a bit of time digging dirt and putting down glass, but this didn't necessarily seem to be working either. In the end, I decided to take down the remaining resources that I had not caught fire. And then exactly what I'd thought was going to happen, happened. So I respawned and thankfully all of my items were saved, so I went and reclaimed them. Day 81 and we decided to head back into the mines to go and find some items, and obviously this will help boost our levels. I nearly drowned in gravel, but we're absolutely fine. But yeah, I wanted to go back in and get some more diamonds, and obviously by mining these kinds of ores you get quite a lot of XP, so hopefully it should help build up our levels a little bit. So I finished covering the whole lava area with glass. I really don't know what to do about that, so I might just have to leave it for now. Still working on getting as much of this copper as possible, but instead I decided that I was going to build the pumpkin in this little area here next to the graveyard and the church. Again, this was quite a complicated build, so I will see you when I'm done. And there we have it, guys. I think this is one of my favourite builds that I have ever built. It took so long, but it's just stunning. Like, it's so perfect, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. But yeah, I think that is definitely one of my favourite builds I've ever done. After that, we went to check in on the chickens, because I'd done a lot of building and staring at orange. I wanted to come and spend a bit of time with my chickens. Again, we're getting so many eggs from them. So gamers, we're now at day 99 and I'm just spending a bit of time adding some final details around the base. I just want to make sure that we are making this as beautiful as we possibly can do. I'm also going and gathering some more of our eggs to see whether we get some more chicks. I just love the way they look at you, they're so cute. Okay, well we only got one. Oh, and we got a white one. Oh, we got 2 white ones. Well, that makes me happy on the night of day 99. And that's it, gamers. Time for our last sleep. Okay, and it's day 100, and here we are on Pumpkin Island. It's a lovely sunny day, and everything is looking so beautiful. Time for a cinematic overview of what we've built on the island. Thank you for watching my first ever 100 days in Minecraft, and an extra huge thank you to my YouTube members. You guys make my day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss my next video, and I will catch you in the next one.